Happy Monday, everyone. It's Weather for Weather Geeks time. It's Monday, so that means meteorologist Mike Joyce is here.
Whoa.
Mike, I thought we'd start out today with some reports of some fireball streaks in the sky last night. I asked you, and you said you didn't actually see any.
No.
But as you can see on the map here, we did have a handful of reports of some fireballs in the sky last night in parts of northeast Ohio and western Pennsylvania. They were more concentrated and pronounced on the East Coast. But likely some meteors out there last night, and a few of you have touched base with me on Facebook and pointed that out. So that's a pretty cool deal. Unfortunately, or fortunate for me, I was sleeping
Right.
and didn't get to see them. But always a cool sky to the sight in the nighttime sky. Well, speaking of the sky, we started out sunny this morning, and I had a little frost again for the second straight morning in my backyard this morning.
I saw some on the way home last night too. I was here late, so it was there. Well, just a little, like you said, just a little. But
it was just in my backyard. It was in the shaded areas, and it was real subtle and light. It wasn't any sort of hard frost or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I had 37 yesterday morning, 39 this morning. Very chilly weather, and we started with sunshine this morning. Now the clouds are starting to win the battle from the west, and that's because we have rain tracking our way. This is going to be kind of a showery kind of night tonight, it looks like, and this is one of the very few opportunities for rain that we have over the next week.
Right.
Our forecast you went out with at noon has rain maybe Sunday.
Right, Sunday maybe afternoon at this point. It's going to be a while. Great week ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like a real nice late summer week, especially if you kind of like these cooler temperatures. We should still be at 74 at this time of year, and we're still going to be well short of that most of the time for the rest of this week. We might actually get there over the weekend, especially on Saturday. We'll talk about that more in just a second. So here's the radar loop as we record this about 2:15 this afternoon. Elsewhere across the nation, as we let the data load, I'll take the satellite off so it loads a little faster. A few showers down in the southeast. We're going to be keeping a close eye on the southwest over the next couple of days because our tropical system, let me bring up the satellite here. Our tropical system, which has caused some problems down in Cabo, vacation spot in the Baja of California, is going to be pumping moisture up into the southwest. And, Mike, they had a lot of flooding problems recently in Phoenix, and they could have a rerun. This could be a real serious situation with maybe a few inches worth of rain falling again in places that can't handle that much rain in a short amount of time. So that's going to be a national weather story, I think, as we go through the next couple of days, all because of our tropical system, which is still very impressive looking. And I believe it's pronounced Odell.
I don't know.
Odile.
I've never looked into the pronunciation, just the storm itself.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't tried to pronounce it yet, and it starts with an O. And every time I look at it in print, I think it's saying Odie, like the dog from Garfield.
Yeah.
But that's not actually what its name is. All right. So anyway, back to our weather. Let's talk about the timing of the rain that's coming in. For the rest of the afternoon, we're probably in pretty good shape. What do you think as far as a start time, Mike? Early evening-ish?
Yeah. Last night the models were saying there was a lot of agreement. So they were saying 8, 9. I think maybe a little bit earlier than that today.
Yeah, I suspect that's right. This is the high-resolution rapid refresh model simulated radar here at this would be 3 p.m. That looks a little too fast considering it's 2:19 and this stuff is still just in the western suburbs of Cleveland. So this might be a touch fast. A lot of this is going to be aimed north of Youngstown, this initial little wave. But as we head deeper into the evening, here's 7 o'clock this evening, 8 o'clock. Again, the main thrust of this may be after sunset, but a few hours earlier, there could certainly be a little bit of wet weather, especially north of Youngstown. Here's the current radar. That's what the model's picking up on, is this stuff up near the western suburbs of Cleveland right now. But anyway, the main thrust of this is coming after sunset this evening. This is at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Here's 8 o'clock. So sunset now is pretty close to 7:30, so this is after it gets dark. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. You get the idea. Gentle rain for us tonight. Probably no thunder and lightning with this. There is none at the current time. So just a good old-fashioned showery kind of night tonight. And because of the clouds and the rain, tonight will not be as cool as the last couple of nights.
Right.
No one's getting frost tonight. No one's in the 30s tonight. What's our forecast of low tonight? 51?
51.
Yeah.
I think, low 50s will probably be the range.
And that's actually pretty typical of this time of year. That's pretty close to our average. So timing on the rain for tomorrow morning, this is wee hours of the morning at 3 a.m. Back edge starting to push through here. We'll switch over to the NAM model then for the rest of our little tour of the models here. Skipping ahead to tomorrow morning here on the NAM model at 8 a.m. It looks like this is pretty much out of here. So this is going to be roughly 6 to 7 p.m. to roughly 3 or 4 a.m. kind of a thing As you get up tomorrow morning, the kids are at the bus stop. Maybe there's a quick shower, but looks to me like that's probably out of here. And it'll leave us with a dry day tomorrow. Uh, Tomorrow, another below average day, probably mid 60s.
Right.
Another one of those days where we're 10 below average. We've had a lot of those lately. After a warm start to the month of September, things have certainly changed. In fact, let me grab the temperature anomalies for the month so far here, just to kind of demonstrate the overall trend across the U.S. Today's the 15th. We're about halfway through the month, of course. And since we started warm, our overall anomaly is not very remarkable here in eastern Ohio, western PA. But if you just looked at the last 5 days, then it has been a very, very cool stretch. And it's been another way below average month out here, front range of the Rockies, the Plains, where almost the whole year has been like this. It's been a very chilly 2014 out of here in the Dakotas and Nebraska and Montana and Wyoming, etc. All right, so we're going to zoom through this week because not much is happening at all. Wednesday's a nice-looking day. Thursday's a nice-looking day. Friday's a good-looking day. High school football will be just fine. It'll just be chilly. So we get into the weekend. High pressure is going to slip off the East Coast. It'll be kind of over here somewhere. Maybe my H is being covered by our heads, but it'll be just off the East Coast. And with a southwest wind developing on the backside of that Saturday, hey, we might get up in the mid-70s.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, jump in the pool. Our warmest day in quite some time. Unfortunately, it's not going to last very long because that next front arrives on Sunday. Here's Sunday at 2 p.m. Browns are at home against the Ravens on Sunday, hoping to keep their one-game winning streak alive. And it looks like it may rain. Not as nice as it was this past weekend for the victory against the Saints. And in the wake of that front, boy, another shot of chill coming for next week. Here's the temperature anomaly outlook for the next 16 days, GFS ensemble model. Again, we're going to be below average just about all of the work week. And then for the weekend, we pop up to near or maybe even a couple of degrees above average. And then behind that, yeah, this looks like a pretty consistently cool pattern for a lot of next week to wrap up the month of September. So if you're looking for 80, this isn't going to be your forecast. Best case scenario, Saturday, if it overachieves a little bit, maybe it gets to 78 or something like that. But if you're looking for some heat, some late season heat, doesn't look like your kind of pattern for the next couple of weeks. That's today's weather for Weather Geeks. Thank you for watching, and be sure and check out Mike's forecasts on the weekends, 21 News 6 and 11. Follow him on social media, and I'll see you tonight on 21 News 6 o'clock. See you then.